So the new GTA update's been out for a couple of days now, and so this video is basically going to act as a information video on everything main in the new update. So all the new cars, all the new agencies, everything like that. So this is basically aimed towards the newer people in the game, or the people that don't really know what's going on after a couple of days. So yeah, it's going to be an information video on what to do. Just a quick word of warning before we get into everything. Haven't uploaded in about a year and a half, so I'm going to be a little bit rusty with my commentary. Had to drag myself to make this video just because I really wanted to get back into it, but it was it's quite hard. So yeah, hopefully it's a good video. It's going to be a little bit long, a little bit dragged out, but should be a good video. And let's get straight into the agencies. So probably the most important part of the update, and the thing that people care about the most, is the agencies. So that's where you get Franklin from story mode. That's where you run all the operations to do with Dre and all that kind of stuff. They're very, very similar to the offices. They're bought from the same place, which is Dynasty 8. Very similar. Once again, you got your clerk at the front, all that kind of stuff. So it's very similar to the offices. And there's four of them, a bit like the offices. And there's one up north near West Vinewood, and the rest are down south, but no one really cares about them because they're for poor people basically. So yeah, so the first one is a Little Seoul one. Cool building, really tall. You've probably got a really good view from the top of it. So it's probably the best one for the people that don't have as much money and can't afford the most expensive ones. So moving on to the next ones, they're pretty similar, all of these ones together. This is the most second most expensive one. Sorry, probably my second favourite one. Basic, just like the other ones. It's got a nice walkway. It's right next to two different apartments, so it's really well accessed. And even if you don't buy the living quarters in the office, then you can, or sorry, the agency, then you can easily just spawn in the other one at your apartment. Sorry. So this is the third one. Very, very boring, basic one. It's just a random triangle building downtown. I doubt anyone's really bought it unless you haven't got much money in the game. It's got a pretty decent view. I think that's probably the only best thing about it. But once again, if you got the money, no point buying it. And yeah, this one is the most expensive one, so it's definitely the best one. Not the best looking building, I'd say, out of all of them, but it's a cool one. It's right in the middle of the city, so you've got the access all around for different things, right near the casino, right near loads and loads of apartments. So yeah, it's definitely the best one, and most likely the one to go for. So all this part of the video, if you've already got the agency and you've seen all the cutscenes, there's really no point watching this, so skip ahead to a time which will be in the bottom of the screen. This is me buying my office. It's just a pretty basic, normal customization for the offices. And it's a very, very cool thing. You get good views, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I'm going to give you a quick tour around it and explain what it does. Okay, so this bit is basically the cutscene of the whole entire agency. So it's a bit like a story, so I don't really want to ruin it, so I'm not going to play the cutscene with sound or anything like that. I'm just going to talk over it, just a background thing. So I'm just going to explain what the agency does basically. So it's the center of your operations. You're now one of Franklin's business partners, or his business partner, and it comes with loads of different things, which I'll give you a tour around in a minute. It's definitely worth buying because you can get cell phone assassination jobs, all that kind of stuff, stuff which you can try and like steal stuff back from gangs, that kind of stuff. So it's lots of different things you can do, lots of different activities, and the more you do, the more you unlock for your office, and it gets better over time. The main part of it is the main story, which is helping Dre with something. I'm not going to ruin it for people, but it's the main part, and it's a bit like a mini heist. Well, it is a mini heist basically. So it's a fun little story, and you have to have the agency to start this. So I'm just going to give you a quick tour around the agency on double speed. It's pretty simple layout. You've got your office, which over time upgrades with the more contract stuff you do, the more assassinations you do. You get like secret awards. There's one thing where you like assassinate 50 people and you get like an employee of the month thing, which is a bit of a play on story mode if you haven't done that already. You've got the conference area, which is probably never used. I don't think it is used. There's no point in it being there. Just a filler, basically. Franklin's office, you got Chop in the corner, who's not there at the moment. Not much goes on there, except you've got Franklin. Sometimes it gives you certain dialogues and stuff. You've got the view. Very good. I came here at the right time. I came here at sunset when I first played, so yeah, it's definitely good. You've got the center desk, the foyer area, where you've got a guy, whatever his name is, a clerk, where you can basically order helicopters. There's government helicopters or the agency helicopters, which you can get for free. Basically get a free helicopter. There's a trick: if you put it in your hangar, then you get to keep it. don't ask me, it's what Rockstar like to do. You can access it's the same as all the offices and stuff. You get free snacks down here as well, so once you explore, it's definitely a very, very, very good thing, especially with the free snacks. So if you come through this door here, you've got the top floor. The top floor is probably one of the most important parts of it. You've got, if you buy all the stuff, you've got a gun workshop, you've got a hacking area, you've got your own personal quarters, you've got a weird area at the back, which is just, I don't actually know what it's for. So this bit here is your gun area. It's very, very good. It's like your own ammunition just in your agency, except you get access to weapons which you can't actually get from ammunition. So there's 3 new weapons. There's a stun gun, an EMP launcher, and a brand new rifle. Haven't got any of them because they're ridiculously expensive. They're like 300k, 400k each, but they're very, very good. Just apologies if I'm speaking fast. I'm trying to get through everything in this update. There's a lot in this update to cover, so trying to get through it all. But yeah, this is the stun gun. 300k of rubbish. It's not worth it. I don't know why it's 300k. It's a typical Rockstar thing. Yeah, there's a new rifle, which is the heavy rifle. Never tried it. Looks pretty decent though. There'll be a weapon guide somewhere on YouTube which you can find if you want to know more about this stuff. And the compact EMP launcher, which has no range at all, but it's a pretty cool weapon considering you can shut down any vehicle engine at any time as long as you're close to it. So it's if you're getting chased, then just jump out, pop them with an EMP launcher and drive off again. So it's a pretty good fix for griefing. So this is where Amani sits. Amani's your hacker. She works during the story bit of Dre. That's it basically. What I just showed you before, that was the 3 weapons. There's only 3 weapons that they added to the game, which is a bit disappointing, but it's Rockstar, so I guess the rest of the update kind of makes up for it. So this is your living quarters. You can change clothes here, all the useless stuff that you can do in your normal apartment. It's the same as having a normal apartment basically, just in your agency. So you can spawn here, you can that's it basically. There's a telescope, so you can do that telescope glitch. You've got a bathroom, you can shower, which does absolutely nothing. You can watch TV, which also does absolutely nothing. Occasionally Chop will spawn on your bed, which is probably the best thing about it. Can't do anything with him though. Got the telescope, like I said. A nice view, and that's it basically. So what's pretty unique about this DLC is, unlike the other ones, it's got a story, and you don't get those. You only get them in story mode. So it's with Franklin, it's kind of like a story mode DLC added to online. Rockstar's way of saying we're not getting a story mode DLC basically. So yeah, it's pretty fun. I've only played about half of it, but I've seen clips and stuff of the other one. And it's got a lot to do with Dr. Dre and how his phone was stolen during Perico, if you've played that, and if not, you'll understand once you play it. So it's a really good thing, and it's definitely worth buying the agency for. So the next thing added, and probably one of the better things, is the garage that you get with the agency. So it's a free 20-car garage. You get a free one of the new Enuses, which is the Rolls Royce. It's armoured. The interior sucks, but it's pretty cool, and you get a free one anyway, so yeah. Another thing is you get a vehicle workshop with it, which has something on only certain vehicles called Amani Tech. And Amani Tech is like, you get proximity mines, you can get guns, you can get there's these anti-lock-on missile things. So basically, if you're driving in a session and you're fed up with those people on those flying broomsticks shooting missiles at you, basically they can't shoot missiles at you. So it's a very Rockstar basically doing whatever they can to stop griefing, so it's kind of cool. Okay, so moving on pretty fast here, we have one new radio station. It's like a Spanish radio station, and they've revamped 2 other ones, which is West Coast Classics and Radio Los Santos as well. And these are all the new songs, quite a lot of decent ones, so pause it if you want to have a look. The cars and vehicles are probably one of the most important part of the update for some people. So even though we had the tuners update, which was basically just a full-on car update last summer, we've still added 15 cars, which are pretty cool. They haven't all been added in one go because Rockstar like to drip feed them to keep people in the game, just gets them more money basically. So yeah, that's why they do that. But there's quite a lot of decent cars, Rolls Royces, supercars. There's this one cool Lamborghini supercar, as you can see on the screen now. Nothing on war stock or anything like that yet, so I think they're going to probably be added every single week. There's a Hummer coming, so there's quite a lot of new cool things. So I'm not going to go into absolutely everything the agency does because it will take a while and it's so confusing, but I've given you the basics, so hopefully you understand. If not, I'll probably make another video on it another time, so yeah, I'll do that. But now this is the clothing. There's actually surprisingly quite a lot of clothing. Rockstar never add clothing. Normally add a few rubbish hats and a few rubbish tops, but I've actually added quite a few decent things. So when you go into the game, look for the stuff with the star, the yellow star, and that's all the new stuff that you haven't unlocked yet, or you haven't got yet, or you haven't seen. So yeah, I put it on like really fast speed just so I can quickly go through everything. Quite a lot of decent clothing, like I said. I'm dressed my guy like a weird Facebook employee, don't ask why. But yeah, it looks pretty cool. So quite a lot of decent clothing added to the game. That's really everything main which Rockstar added to the game. Quite a lot of decent stuff. So good update in my opinion. There's loads of little like different quality to life changes and loads of little secret things which I can make a separate video for if you want me to. Won't be too much of an issue. But yeah, it's been my first video back in about a year and a half. So I apologise if it's been a bit scrappy. It's quite hard to do. But yeah, that's it really. I'll see you guys in the next one.